the suspect is in all likelihood armed and dangerous, so should be treated as such.
A body found. Now at 6, police are all over Rutland County trying to find the person responsible.
This is ABC 22 News at 6.
I'm Lauren Maloney. Let's get right to it. Right now, a large-scale manhunt for a man who may know something about a woman's death. Police are only working off a description, but they're going door to door looking for any information. This as we await to find out what happened to this woman found dead along the Delaware and Hudson Rail Trail. Tonight, we do have the initial call that came into police.
1141, just lost a caller. Last I heard was it was across the street from 1587 South Street on the rail trail. There was a female laying on the ground. She's in bad shape.
ABC 22's Josh Morrill is live where police found the body Thursday afternoon. Josh, we haven't heard from police in hours at this point, but what are they telling you?
Well, Lauren, to back up, about 4:30 p.m. Thursday afternoon following gunshots, police responded to a report of a woman's body here along Dumas Road, just south of the D&H Rail Trail in Castleton and about a mile south of the Castleton campus. And in their initial findings in this case, investigators say that they don't know if this was a targeted attack and they do not currently have any suspects in the case. And witnesses have described a man now considered to be a person of interest that took off from the scene yesterday. They say it's a white male, 5'10", with short, dark, or red hair in his mid to late 20s or 30s with a black backpack. And he was last seen headed north along the rail trail in the direction of the Castleton. He is still considered armed and dangerous. And last night, investigators canvassed the area and went door to door looking for any witnesses or neighbors that had video of any suspicious activity, and say they had trouble reaching those here along South Street where I'm standing right now due to the time of day. They started the investigation, but say they continue that work today.
We do not have a suspect, so we're relying on the public to really help us here, and we really need a good first clue. While we're waiting for all that to fall in place, we'll do our regular investigative courses.
And while they have not released the identity of the victim quite yet, state police confirmed that the woman was not a VTSU student, and they do not know the nature of the relationship between the victim and suspect as of now, and an autopsy was underway late this morning. Police warned that those that live nearby, I should say, should take precaution.
Vigilant, be safe, lock your doors, lock your cars, don't leave your keys in your car. Don't wander around at night, wander in pairs. If you're going to be out, be with a friend.
Investigators ask if anyone has any information or any video to reach out to them. And now our own Matt Holderman is here joining me now, where you've canvassed the area today, talking to those in the area, getting their reaction. What have they been telling you?
Well, Josh, as you know, having also been around the area today, it's actually been super quiet here in Castleton, and that's especially been true on the Vermont State University-Castleton campus. And part of that is because students are on fall break right now, but another part of it is interim president Mike Smith actually called a shelter-in-place order for the few hundred students that are still staying in dorms. A quiet Friday at Vermont State University-Castleton as a potential killer could still be on the loose in town. The crime scene on the Delaware and Hudson Rail Trail near South Street is just 1 mile south of campus, and police say witnesses told them they saw the possible killer walking north on the rail trail after the incident, which leads directly to VTSU's campus. Fortunately, with fall break in session, many students are at home right now, but for the few who are still on campus, it's a scary situation.
It's a small town. I mean, I think there's only 2,500 kids that go to school here. So, and like I said, only 10 to 15% were actually on campus. So it's a bit alarming, and you never really expect it out here.
Knowing there are still students on campus, Vermont State University's interim president Mike Smith called a shelter-in-place order Thursday night that on Friday morning closed all on-campus facilities and canceled all on-campus events. He went on to write in a statement, quote, "We urge anyone on the Castleton campus to adhere to the continued shelter-in-place order. We ask all employees and students not to travel to the Castleton campus for any reason. We care deeply about your well-being and encourage you to lean on one another for support during this difficult time. Our thoughts are with those affected by this incident. And one other note that I want to add here, we just got this update from President Smith a little while ago. They're actually going to delay the reopening, or I should say return date from fall break for students. They are now going to have students return to campus on Sunday, October 8th at the very soonest. They say that date could still get pushed back depending on what may develop over the next couple of days here. But now, as for the people living in houses nearby, I also want to mention I did speak with a couple of them to get their thoughts, and all of them were a bit too nervous to show their faces on camera due to the fact that there could still be a killer on the loose. But one of them did tell me that they also heard the gunshots last night, and the next thing they knew, they saw police racing by their house. Now, police say anyone who may still have information on this, you should call Vermont State Police in Rutland. Their number is 802-773-9101. And VTSU Interim President Smith also wants to remind everyone that if this situation is stressing any of you out at all, anyone in the Castleton area directly, 988, that is a great resource. That is the crisis hotline, and you can call that and anonymously speak with trained professionals and counselors. But for now, reporting live in Castleton, Matt Holderman, ABC 22 News.
Matt, Josh.